2, 3.
Here I am, field trip shopping.
Before wiping with Qlipta, it was hard keeping.
On Outback Truckers. Veteran trucker Steve Graham is locked in a battle with the weather, the road,
Smashing crap out of the gear.
and his patience.
Oh, why won't you listen?
In a race to reach Australia's most remote community.
Clumbaroo?
Driver Dion Fisher is massively behind schedule. He's got big troubles from breakdowns.
Is that a problem in the electrics in here?
Wildlife
You got him, guys.
and the authorities.
So we can't drive from Australia for us to take away from him.
He faces an uphill battle to get his load in on time. Livestock truckie Joey Greenwich has 750 unruly passengers on board his road train. Getting them safely to their destination
Sheep.
will test his skills.
Why the hell are you doing that with your mate?
And his truck
You can't dig yourself out of this.
to the limit.
Just worried now. Very worried. We're in the
In the remote town of Alice Springs, Outback veteran Steve Graham is counting the cost of taking on one of the roughest roads in Australia.
I don't want something to go on out in the desert.
He's halfway through an epic 3,500 kilometre journey from Perth to Kiwakara, Australia's most isolated outback community. Over the last 3 days, he's hauled 40 tonnes of freight over 2,000 kilometres, like travelling from New York to Cuba, and his truck's taken a beating. Under the bonnet, the news isn't good. His air compressor looks to be damaged. It's a vital component. Without it, Steve's going nowhere. The fate of his journey and his truck is hanging on one phone call to his mechanic, 2,000 kilometres away.
I'm in Alice Springs. I've got the bonnet up here. They've cracked the paint away in the clear circle around them, and they're bending the lock washers.
The mechanic wants to see a photo. All Steve can do is wait.
Those compressors are about $6,000 each. Yeah, that's been vibrating and working at straight. All right, nothing to panic about. Okay, no worries.
After all the dramas, it turns out the problem is down to a simple coat of paint.
He saw that there was a bit of paint missing on top of the compressor, so he gave just a brush of paint over, and that new paint with the expansion and contraction of the compressor is probably all that's cracked off.
Okay.
He's been put at rest for a minute.
While it's a huge weight off Steve's shoulders, he has another problem on his hands. Time.
The reason I'm rushing is you can't travel oversized at night, and it takes a good half an hour to get through town, and it's going to be dark shortly.
He's delivering 50 tonnes of building equipment to a crew working in Kiwakara. It's a vital project for the isolated community, and supplies are running low. Steve's delivery is critical.
I want to get out of town by dark, mate, and it's very nearly dark.
Steve's racing the setting sun.
You can only travel daylight oversized. That's why I've been pushing. Got about 600 kilometres of dirt from here up to Kiwakara. Hope to get there just before dark tomorrow night.
But this is just the start of his journey. He and his long-suffering truck face one of the toughest, meanest dirt roads in the country.
Just hard work, just smashing crap out of the gear.
On a farm 350 kilometres east of Perth, livestock truckie Joey Greenwich is getting ready for a run through the West Australian outback. He has just 12 hours to make the 650 kilometre trip from his home in Moorine Rock to the coastal town of Esperance.
Moorine Rock to Esperance?
Stops at farms along the way, dealing with narrow back roads, dirt tracks, and open farmland.
Look at that. Bloody beautiful.
Joey's been driving trucks for 30 years, and like his dad, his granddad, and his brother. He wouldn't have it any other way.
This truck driver in here, bloke, we put our heart and soul into this job. I don't agree with this, and it sounds funny, but an old bloke said once that truck driving's a dickhead's job and a dickhead can't do it. But to me, it's not. My dad brought me up to say you're like a ship's captain if you're driving a truck, and that's your responsibility. And I think more along those lines.
Like any captain, Joey's responsible for the lives of his passengers. On this voyage, there'll be 750 of them.
750 sheep, wow.
It's one of the most dangerous loads a truckie can carry. Constantly moving, high off the ground and with a mind of their own, sheep are unpredictable and unstable. Keeping the truck steady is essential. Rollovers are a constant threat.
If you hook into corners too hard or stuff like that, you'll have the risk of them going over it. And I've been very lucky, but I've seen it happen. I've seen a truck and crate go over. Yeah, animals have to get destroyed, and not good at all,
With a third trailer hooked up, Joey's 37-metre road train is complete. It's 4 times the length of a London bus and can hold up to 800 sheep. On the ground, everything's good to go. But it's a different story above. The weather forecast is for rain. It's the last thing Joey needs.
The main thing is to get stuck, to get hold somewhere.
If the sky's open, his 43-ton road train could sink like a stone into wet farm.
That goes through the back of your mind if you're going in the bush in stormy country, in stormy weather, sort of thing.
And the news from his first pickup is not good.
Yeah, mate.
The rain's already coming down.
We might sort of have a little bit of trouble if it's a bit wet. We've got to be able to get this thing straight to get it in,
With just 12 hours to move 100 tons of sheep more than 650 kilometres, Joey's job's tough enough already. Getting bogged would be a disaster. In a roadside bay near Perth, a heavy haulage team is anxiously waiting for sunrise. The man in charge is Dion Fisher.
Yeah, they'll go 60 miles.
Dion's headed up a job this size, and after just one day, he's badly behind schedule.
We're running about 12 hours behind.
He's heading for a mining plant in Dampier on the northern coast of Western Australia. Dion has just 3 days to cross 1,800 kilometres of remote outback highways. If he's late, the plant may have to shut down, a delay costing millions of dollars. Making things even tougher is the load. These 2 massive steel structures are part of a huge conveyor belt. Each is 40 metres long, weighing 60 tonnes. End to end, they're almost as tall as the Statue of Liberty.
Wow.
Delays in loading have pushed deadlines and tempers to the limit.
If you want to get out of two, just pop.
Adding to the pressure, accidents and slow progress have meant Dion's barely covered 100 kilometres. Everyone's ready to go, but strict rules won't allow Dion to leave until 7:15 a.m. and precious minutes tick by. The convoy can only travel during daylight. To make his deadline, Dion needs to make the most of every minute on the road.
As we're restricted by daylight, we've got in the winter, not many hours, 10 hours is about all we're getting. We're only allowed to 80 k's an hour, so if we can get 700 k's in a day, we'll have a good day.
He may have daylight, but the winter sun is throwing up another hazard.
As you can see, we're driving to the rising sun at the moment, which is obscuring our vision. Quite a dangerous hazard, especially when we've got trucks parked on the side of the road and we all have to negotiate.
At 7 metres wide, Dion's load is hogging almost the entire highway.
You are blinded by the sun.
To stay on the road, He needs to use all his experience.
You just look close to the front of the truck, look down, hold the line, you know where your line is on the road, so you just sort of focus down out of the sun a bit. The old sunny's help as well.
With 1,700 kilometres to go, Dion's under massive pressure. But with millions of dollars at stake, he needs to make up lost time. West of Alice Springs, Steve Graham is about to head onto the notorious Gary Junction Road. It's an isolated dirt track that snakes deep into Australia's second largest desert. But today, it's not scorching heat that's Steve's problem.
When I woke up this morning at the training, I had a bad feeling about this road.
Coming down all the
To stop up these waterholes, this ground's already soft.
It's left the road littered with bogs and potholes. One wheel in the wrong place could land Steve and his 50-ton load in thick mud. The 13
The team right there is talking to me. Looking for me. I was trying to protect over. How are you going to stop? I'm not going to work this way.
Maybe though, the fun kind of good. From hard hats to steel-toed boots, Rangers have your safety needs covered. Clearly, shop for your best needs. Call, click, or just stop by. Ranger for the ones who get it done.
Google still tracks you in incognito mode. Use DuckDuckGo, a real private browser. With DuckDuckGo, it is a built-in search engine like Google, but it never corrects your search history. And you can browse like Chrome, except it blocks most cookies and ads. So be protected from hackers, scammers, and data-hungry companies. And there's no catch. The browser